Hello everyone, hope all is well and welcome back. So in today's video, I'm going to be doing a 3 looks 1 palette with the Melt Cosmetics Rust palette. I am so happy this arrived to me. I've been stalking my tracking number from the brand for so long. I thought it was stuck across the border and I was about to order it. It arrived just in time. I am so excited about this palette because this one brings back so many memories for me. The original Melt Stack was the first product I ever purchased from the brand and probably my most used, more interesting neutral palette. I used to travel with this everywhere I would go. So it just brings back a lot of memories and I'm so happy they extended the range in here as well. There's 3 shimmer shades in here now and they've added a few more matte shades in the bunch as well. They also came out with a new ultra matte gel liner, which is probably one of my top favorite products of their whole collection that they offer. Their gel liners are amazing and I'm so excited that they came out with a more rusty shade. So I'm going to be giving you a review and all of my thoughts towards the end of the video. So with that, let's just get into the 3 looks. But before we do, I would love for you to subscribe if you aren't already. It would mean so much to me, and let's get to it. So for the first look, I wanted to focus with the mustard tones in the palette, since the mustard tone in the original stack was always my favorite to use and my most used shadow. So the first shade I went in with is Erode, which is the most vibrant shade of the palette. And I blended that out in the crease with an 818 brush from Melt. Then I went in with the shade Rust and I placed that on the outer corner. And I blended that out and I just took a little bit of that just because I wanted this look to be kind of on the softer side. Kind of a smokier look, I guess, but it's softer for me. And then I went in with the shade Rubbish and I put that in between those 2 shades. And I also took it more into the crease just to add a little bit more dimension and depth to my eye shape. Then I went in with the shade Mar and I put that on the lower portion just to have a little bit more depth right here, just to bring the eyes out a little bit more. And then I went in with Rust. If the lighting's in and out today, I only use natural lighting and it's super cloudy. It's like the Toy Story clouds outside right now, like Andy's wallpaper, so the little fluffy clouds, so they come in and out, and I'm sorry about that. But I took the shade Rust and I brought it all the way around the eye. And then went back in with Erode once again, just to kind of tie that mustard shade in. And then for my lid shade, I went in with Tarnish. I'm so happy that they added shimmers into this because the original stack was all mattes. So I'm going to use my ring finger just to pat that on. And it's a beautiful goldeny bronze shade. And then I just took this blank canvas E10 brush just to kind of scatter those glitters so there's no harshness anywhere. And that is it. And then I just took a little bit of a highlighter. This is the Kaja Beauty Luna highlighter, just to brighten up the inner corner here. But that is it. I'm just going to quickly add some mascara and then we're done with the first look. The mascara I'm using today for all of my looks is the Anastasia Lash Brag. And here is the first look all complete. It reminds me of an Albertan fall. I love a mustard tone eye. It's neutral, but it gives a unique touch and I'm super happy they added a very vibrant mustard shade in here. Really brings that mustard tone to the next level. Really complements Rubbish a lot. I really love this look. And here's what it looks like zoomed out. I paired this eye look with my favorite lip combination, the MAC Strip Down pencil with the M Cosmetics Morning Mocha Lip Cloud and their Morning Dew Gloss, just like a few little dabs just to add a little bit more of a glow. I really love the tones. I really feel like fall and I'm not mad at that because fall is my favorite season, especially for makeup and outfits. And I'm happy I just have the excuse to wear fall tones in spring. But anyways, let's move on to the second look. For the next look, I wanted to do something very grungy. So I first went in with the shade Rust and a Smith 232. And I try to keep this area quite clear just because if you add a lot of shadow right here, it tends to make your eyes look closer together and sometimes makes it look really muddy. So just try to focus the most in the center and near the outskirts of the eye. And then I went in with a smaller brush with the same shade and I just built this up, and this shade builds beautifully. So I'm going to be building it up till it gets quite opaque. And then I'll start slowly transitioning that into the shade Mar, which is another beautiful deeper shade. And I just kind of went over top of the rust shade and I started to bring that lower and lower. And then I went in with a packing brush. This is a J Manual brush, the eyeshadow brush. It's just kind of like a flatter brush that I'm just gonna be using to pack on the shade. So any kind of flatter brush will work for this. And you just wanna press this onto the lid. So I really just pack and press this on until I'm happy with the pigmentation. And then I'll go back in with a fluffier brush to kind of dust the edges. Now I'm gonna take an angled brush and I'm gonna go into Rot 2. And I'm using this. This is the deepest shade in the palette. I appreciate that they didn't put in just a black. But this brown is super deep, and I packed on a lot of this shade just so that it's very deep right here. And I'm gonna pack some on here as well. I just want the most depth right here, and I want the precision and control. So I'm using a small brush like this. But then I will move on to a bigger brush to kind of blend this out. This is a Sonia Kashuk number 3 brush. These are also pigmented, it's amazing. And I just went in with a little bit of rust, and I'm just gonna put all 3 shades that we were working on. And then you'll just wanna revisit the top with more of a clean blending brush just to kind of balance out the blend here. I went a little bit harsh right here. There's kind of like a harsh edge. So I'm just gonna be working at that for the moment and adding some of the shade Rust just to kind of blend that away. So if you do go a little bit too far in the inner corner like I did, I just take my sponge or whatever and I kind of flick upwards. Or you can also take, if you don't want to do that, you can take a cleaner brush with the shade Classic in here, which is just a light shade. It's gonna nicely brighten up this area without disturbing too much. So you need this brightness in here to kind of open up the eyes a little bit, since we're really shedding it with all the deep colors. And then finally, I'm just gonna add an inner corner highlight just because I feel like this look kind of would look nice with one. And I'm just using the same one that I've been using, the Kaja Beauty Luna. And then I'm just gonna go quickly add some mascara and then we're finished. And here is the second look all complete. I love me a good grungy eye. I don't know, they just really remind me of fall, and I really love the tones in this one. Really smoky, really dramatic. Love, obviously. And here is the look zoomed out. I love this one so much. I decided to pair this eye look with kind of a vampier lip as well. And this is my top favorite lipstick from the brand. It is in the shade Mum, and I'm so happy they sent me another one, so huge thank you. This was my favorite lipstick to wear in the summer, fall, all the time because it's a nice burnt orange. I paired it with the Pat McGrath contour liner just to make it look deep and a little bit more muted a little bit, but if you just wear it on its own, it's a little bit more pumpkin-y orange. But this was the first lipstick collection I purchased from them too, alongside of the Rust Stack, so this is just bringing me back so long ago, 3 or 4 years ago, and I was in need of a new lipstick, that's for sure. This came with me to each tropical vacation I went on because I thought it was such a stunning color against the foliage. I don't know, orange and green, so nice together. Okay, so now for the final look, I kind of did a smoky eyeliner. I wanted to test out the burnish gel liner that came in this collection. So the first thing I went in with is a eyeliner brush, which I don't know where the heck I put. So I went in with this brush. This is a liner and brows brush by Nabla, and this formula is really unique. It kind of freaked me out at first when these first came out because they are so, here, let me try to really show you. They are so soft. I don't know where I'm going. They're very soft and goopy. You only need the tiniest amount. A little bit of this goes a long way, so just know that. Use the cap as your advantage. I just like paint the extra and kind of reshape my brush into a nice point. just for more precision and to get rid of some of the product. First, starting off on my lower lash line right here, and I drew a line straight out from here, and I'm working with not a lot of product on my brush because I am going to be smoking this out and diffusing it. These liners are great because they're very blendable. You can achieve anything with these eyeliners. You can make them into a very sharp liner, kind of like what I just have done now, or you can really blow them out or use them as cream eyeshadows. They're amazing. So what I'm just going to do is wipe off my brush, and then I'm just going to work at the edges of this liner, and you can see it kind of starts to diffuse it. It looks a little odd to begin with, but it will get better. This is just like an art store brush. It's very, very small. So I just did this detail right here, kind of laid the angle on, and then I smudged it out. And this will be a lot better if you haven't had 3 coffees in a day, like I have today for some reason. I don't know why. And it doesn't matter if you like get anything up on your lid right now, because you can fix that because we haven't added any shadow yet. And I kind of left this area right here blank just for a little bit of interest. So I'm just going to blend smoke out, just like using it as an eyeshadow in the inner portion right here. For the inner portion of the eye, you just want to take a pencil brush, kind of outline, and then blend it out. I'm gonna take my super weirdo brush, the line glider from Tweezerman. It looks like a shark tooth or something, and you can really blend little details out like this. So I'm just going to take this Anastasia 20 brush with a little bit of concealer and kind of clean up any excess blend that I don't really need. I do want it to be quite sharp right here, but on the top and stuff I want it to look a little bit more effortless, even though this look took a lot of effort, honestly. And then you can also use whatever is left on your brush to clean up the lid before we add more shadow. And then for the lower lash line, I added some liner. I used the Maybelline Tattoo Studio in Bold Brown, and I just kind of blended it right here. And I used brown and not black just so it was a little bit softer. And I used brown because I originally was going to do something else. You could use the same gel liner. I just am going to copy whatever I had on the other side. I would recommend just going in with the gel liner to keep it the same tones. But then I took a nude liner. This one is by Nabla. It is the Magic Pencil. I just took a touch of this just to smoothen out the waterline here. And I just took my finger and kind of tapped the waterline so it wasn't so harsh. And then I took a little bit of the shade Classic from the palette, and I placed it right here just to smoothen out the edges and brighten this area up. I just wiped off that brush, took the shade Rubbish because this eyeliner is like kind of more on the purpley side, and yellow is a complementary color to purple, so I thought it would be a nice contrast. And then I took that same shade Rubbish on a blending brush, a Smith 232, and I placed that in the crease. Went in with Rubbish and a little bit of Mar, just slightly, just to add a little bit more depth, and I blended it right in the inner corner like a halo eye, as well as the outer portion. And then lastly, I took a little bit of Classic once again and brightened up this center area right here. There we go. I'm just gonna quickly add some mascara and I'll be right back. So here is the third and final look. I really love how this one turned out. It's definitely different. It makes my eyes look very dramatic and very different. I would like to play around with this eye shape a little bit more, maybe with different tones. What do you guys think? Here is the look zoomed out. I just paired it with something simple. I just went in with the Lila B lip oil in the shade Be Brilliant. I just thought it would be nice just to have a little bit of a glossy moment. And I also lined my lips with the Oak pencil from MAC. Yeah, so here is the final look. It's very different than what I usually do. Let me know what you guys think of the 3 looks, which one was your favorite. But now let's get into my thoughts and opinions and my review about the palette. palette, and the liner, of course. First, starting off with the liner, I think this worked fantastically. These are some of my favorite products of all time, especially for gel liners. These are my top recommendation if you're looking for a potted eyeliner. Plus they come in some really nice shades as well. The black one is my most used one, of course, but I highly recommend this formula. It is so nice and so unique. I love how they're so matte, and I love how long wearing they are. You get so much blending time. They just encompass all the things I want in an eyeliner. I highly recommend them, and I'm happy they added another shade. Now moving on to the palette, I'm so happy they did a re-release of this and kind of amped it up, made it even better. I really loved the stack to begin with. I thought it was really unique. I thought it was so interesting and so fun. The stacks, I think, really made them stand out in the industry, and I think it really helped them to get momentum with their business out in the makeup world. I think they're very unique, and they were so fun at the time. They are nice and compact, and you get huge pan sizes, but as time went on, if you're not super paying attention to what you're doing, which sometimes when you're doing makeup you have to do other things or you're putting things away, you can gouge your eyeshadow a lot, and I've done that so many times with the stacks, where you can even see right here where you like don't close it properly and you make a huge gap. So that was kind of annoying, and they also shift a lot, and when you're doing your eye makeup it's kind of tricky. You can lay them out properly, but it does take a little bit more time, whereas a palette, you know, it's just simple, easy. This is a classic form because it's easy and nice to open up and you can visibly see everything. I personally love how they're focusing on palettes now, so I think that was really genius, and this brings a lot of nostalgia to me because the Rust Stack was the first thing I purchased from the brand, and it was like how I got introduced to the brand and how I fell in love with the brand, because for a neutral palette it still has its uniqueness. I love Melt for that. They always have a unique twist on neutral palettes, and the Rust Stack was the first one to introduce me to mustard tones, and that changed my makeup life. I loved mustard tones ever since. One thing about this palette that's weird is the timing. I think I don't see myself really reaching for this palette in the next few months for spring and summer looks. I think they should have released this around fall because this is the most fall thing ever, but I'm also happy because I really love fall tones, and I like the excuse to wear fall tones in the spring, I guess. I think that's the only downside for me is like the timing. I think this would have been a lot more successful near the fall. I don't know how you guys feel about that. I see myself using this one like crazy. I think it's going to be one of my top favorites from them for sure, just because like the Melt Rust Stack has always been one of my top favorite palettes in my collection anyways. When I saw this, I was super excited. I did film this video over 2 days. I did wear the first look for a full day because I really liked it and I had other things to film, but it was a good thing, I think, because I was really able to see if the shadows performed nicely, if they creased or faded, and nothing of that happened. The shimmer shade stayed on beautifully, so did the more vibrant crease shade, the erode shade. It looked exactly the same as when I finished applying it. So honestly, I love Melt Cosmetics so much, and I would have purchased this. I had it on my list for the VIB sale, and I'm so happy that it made it across the border to me. I was super anticipating its arrival, and I'm so happy it did. It's a stunning palette, and I see it being a staple in my collection for a very long time. Melt's formula is so stunning. It's one of my top 3 alongside with Natasha Denona and Pat McGrath, so it just shows that they're really nice, and their palettes always inspire me because they have nice color combinations and they're nice to look at, and their formula is always consistent and reliable. So I can't really speak enough good things about them. I know people think I'm a little bit biased with the company, but I truly just really love them through and through. But yeah, so I think that's why I would like to do a Melt ranking video. I think I have some of my opinions now that I've had all of their palettes in my collection for a very long time, so let me know on that. But other than that, I would really recommend this palette as well as the eyeliner if you're really interested in it. And plus the VIB sale is coming up, so you'll be able to get a discount on it if you have been itching to get this one. So I'm super happy with all 3 looks. I think I got a little bit creative. I haven't felt super creative with my makeup in a while until today. I like to adventure a little bit more, and I hope you enjoyed these 3 looks. So that is all for me today, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed today's video and found it helpful and inspiring. If you did, please give this video a huge thumbs up. It would help me out so much. I'll make sure to link all the products I used in today's video, as well as the ones I was already wearing as my complexion products in the description down below, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Love you. Bye.